Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by Tri-County Logging. Experienced in sustainable forestry practices, Tri-County Logging can help you manage your property by keeping your woods healthy and generate income. Serving southern and mid-Michigan for nearly 50 years, TriCountyLogging.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others. Join the fight.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Silik, and we've got a great show lined up for you this week. Jordan Brown has been documenting his entire archery deer season on camera to share with all of us. And this week, we're going to check out what's happened in his woods over the last couple of weeks. You won't want to miss that excitement. And Jimmy's got a couple of other great stories in store for us this week.
Well, that's right, Jenny. We do have a few more hunts on this week's show. We're actually going to spend some time in the Upper Peninsula on this week's episode doing a bear hunt where some sportsmen went above and beyond to kind of give back to a fellow sportsman. You won't want to miss that story. And if you're watching this on Thursday night, it's Veterans Day, so we're going to spend some time with a veteran out on the Independence Hunt from a couple of weeks ago. So many good stories on this week's show. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors.
What a beautiful day in the woods.
Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's meat processor and Michigan destination since 1988, offers a variety of homemade smoked meats and Michigan-made products in-store and online. The Country Smokehouse features an outdoor barbecue and bar. Details at countrysmokehouse.com. By Alta Equipment Company, providing sales, rentals, service, and parts because uptime matters. From earth moving to landscaping and light construction, Alta offers over 50 brands across 7 Michigan locations to serve you. More information online or 844-GO-2-ALTA.
WorkingPerson.com. From the factory floor to the job site and into the field, WorkingPerson.com supplies work boots and shoes, workwear, safety gear, and more for individuals or outfitting your whole team. Learn more at WorkingPerson.com.
DTE believes to lead, we have to do what's right. So we're tripling renewables and cutting carbon emissions in half over the next 10 years. DTE.
Well, it's October 19th, back out here in the tree stand. Absolutely gorgeous morning. Honestly, haven't hunted that much since I killed that nice buck on October 5th. I've been checking trail cameras left and right, though, trying to see what else is still out there and if any new bucks show up. So this piece of property is pretty nostalgic to me. It's actually the same farm where I killed my first buck with a bow quite a few years ago now. And I haven't shot a deer out here since I was in high school, so every time I come back and hunt here, I always enjoy it just because so many of my early memories were made right here on this piece of property. So I do have a picture of a really nice 8-point in here, and not sure if he's a shooter yet or not, hoping to get a better look at him. It's a little more of a difficult decision when you only have one buck tag left, so I'm going to try to hunt this a few times in the next couple of weeks and see if I can't get a better look at that buck and keep checking cameras and kind of go from there. was a good decision. What an incredible encounter. I've never seen that buck. Really good mass, a little busted up on the one side. I had him at about 10 yards. And then again at like 30 yards. Man, so cool. Beautiful morning. Great buck, great encounter. Hope I made the right decision. That's a beautiful deer, though. There was a big part of me that wanted to try and put a second buck tag on that deer. October 31st, the morning of Halloween, back in the tree stand where I passed up a really nice deer that I still don't know if I made the right call on about a week and a half ago. I was really hoping to see one particular buck on this property, but not only have I not seen him, I haven't had a picture of him in about 10 days, so I don't know if he's still alive or just in a different area or just not walking by me or the cameras. I'm not sure, but I'm still holding on a little bit of hope that he's around. But this area has a lot of does. There's quite a few bucks in here right now. Just never know what might show up this time of year, so it's absolutely gorgeous morning. Had turkeys gobbling in the trees. Colors are about perfect. Just enjoying the scenery so far, and maybe we'll get lucky and have a big one show up. But another really good encounter, man. Different buck. It's amazing this time of year how many new deer show up. That buck walked right in front of my trail camera. I've had that camera there since September. I don't have a single picture of him. It looked like a 10-point, but he didn't have any brow tines or really little brow tines, I'm not sure. So maybe just an 8. This is the best time of year. Late October, early November. Can't wait to see what the next couple weeks has in store. I'm back in what is probably my favorite tree stand. This is the same stand that last year I killed one of my biggest bucks with a bow out of on November 5th. So it's kind of on the edge of a big bedding area. And whenever you have a west wind or a southwest wind, these bucks always kind of work this edge, scent checking for does this time of year. In a spot like this that has so many does, you just never know. A buck could show up from anywhere, so. Listening to that buck for a while, making all kinds of noise over there. And I tried to grunt at him. He didn't seem very interested. So after listening to him for a few more minutes, I picked up my rattling antlers and I barely touched him. I mean like 15 seconds. And I heard him come running. And I still couldn't see him until he was about 10 yards away. So I had to kind of prep. You know, you never know what it is. Could have been a giant. Not sure. So I had to basically get totally ready. And he ended up not being a buck I'm looking to shoot. But anytime you rattle him in or call him in, grunt him in, super cool.
Late October and early November provided me with several opportunities to fill a tag. And although the hunting was great, the highlight was certainly helping my wife track and recover her biggest buck to date.
Oh my God.
It's the big one.
Oh my God. Holy cow. He's so nice.
This is my biggest buck yet to date. Really grateful, really thankful. I've only sat out 3 times this year because obviously life happens and it's not as easy for me to get out now, but I'm just really grateful. Jordan watched one of the kids last night, another one was gone and took advantage of the time, and I'm bummed he wasn't with me, and that's the story of our hunting life now is unfortunately we don't get many sits together, but this is incredible. It was a great hunt and a great morning tracking. We're gonna go show him off a little bit and do a little celebrating because this might be my biggest buck I ever kill, so.
It has been an incredible deer season so far, and there's still lots of time left. Good luck to all of the bow hunters hitting the woods over the next few days, and to all of the gun hunters heading out next week.
Well, as you can see, Jordan and his family are having a pretty good deer season and a full freezer to boot. What we're going to do now is head above the bridge for a UP bear hunt. Now, there was a lot of people, a lot of groups, a lot of different things that were involved in making this next hunt possible. It's one of the best UP bear hunts I can remember. When I heard that my friend Shannon Cortman was doing a bear hunt over hounds, I wasn't sure how that would work. Shannon has the heart of a lion. He also has spina bifida and uses a wheelchair. Fortunately, Corey Merriman and Scott Evans ran a camera to capture this hunt.
The name of the group that took me out is Hunters for Life, and I got hooked up with them through Facebook. Contacts, it's all about who you know, and so they reached out to me via Facebook after they had come across my page, Anyone Can Outdoors, about 3 or 4 years ago, wanting to take me out on a turkey hunt, and then they reached out to me again this past year, November, asked me if I wanted to go out on a bear hunt, very first bear hunt ever, so said, yeah, well, let's give it a try. They said, all right, we'll get it going, and you work on the tag, and we'll take care of the rest.
Well, taking care of the rest meant a lot. Hunters for Life reached out to a local family, the Farmer family, who are avid houndsmen and also great people. They joined in the adventure of trying to make this hunt work for Shannon. The day starts by checking trail cams of bait sites that the family has to draw in a bear. I had Scott tell us a little bit about how he got this Hunters for Life group up and running.
It took us quite a while, a lot of paperwork to fill out. Then it came time to have a mission statement, which at the time we didn't know that this is how it worked, but your mission statement is what you essentially have to do. And Wounded Warrior, for example, they're geared towards wounded veterans. Make-A-Wish is geared towards, sick kids. And our mission statement is to make the great outdoors accessible to anyone and everyone, regardless of age, limitation, or disability. And through wording it that way, that opened us up to pretty much helping anybody who needs help.
Scott is a pretty impressive guy, to be sure, and between him and the Farmer family, things were starting to come together on this hunt. The guys had located a good bear on camera, and now they were getting ready to get some dogs on the ground.
Jordan, who I was riding with him, he reached out to his brother Justin and said, hey, do you have anything where you're at? He's like, yep, I've got one bear, looks like a pretty good size, and he's got a white blaze mark on his chest. And he's like, never seen this bear before. He's only on the trail cam one time. Jordan looks at me, I looked at him, I said, yeah, I kind of got my mind made up already. That's the one I want. Like, yeah, I figured you probably would. All right, let's go get him.
Let a couple dogs go here, and they'll cold trail, we call it, and where the bear had walked when he came in here, and hopefully they end up finding them and jumping them and getting them running.
Is that your tracker there? Is it?
Yep. Yeah,
okay.
This is our GPS, so we can see where they are and what they're doing. And so they're just doing a couple loops around the bait to find where he went out.
So we're driving around a little bit and get out to where we're at, or where the bear is at, I should say, and get a plan nailed down, let the dogs go, and I'm sitting in the truck, Jordan's explaining the dog collars and the tracker and the remote and all that, and how that whole thing works, and just sitting there and watching those dogs go and listening to them as they're going off in the woods. That'll get your blood pumping already. It's getting close.
About to get in there after him.
Oh, can't wait.
How far we got? About 7 tenths?
Yeah. A little over 7 tenths. So.
It's never easy.
No.
It's all part of the story, though. Part of the adventure.
Now this is where things got harder. There was no way to get a quad or side-by-side through a thick UP forest, so the second plan was to put Shannon in a jet sled and pull him the 7/10 of a mile. Well, as you can guess, that's no easy task.
So then they've got the sled that they brought along with a little turkey hunting chair sitting in it, and got me in there. All right, we're going to drag you through. That'll get us the rest of the way. No, it won't. That got us about another 3-ish, 400 yards, and now we're stuck. We don't know what else to do. And they're like, how much do you weigh? Why? What are you thinking? Well, we're just going to carry you on our backs. Okay, it's like, you want this bear, right? Yeah, get on our backs. Okay. So they picked me up, and each one of the guys, we had 9 people in the group with us, and pretty much they all took turns with me on their backs going about 300 yards. We had to walk 7/10 of a mile to where this bear was. And it goes from dead quiet to all of a sudden you've got 5 or 6 hounds that are just barking and baying like crazy. And that's when it gets real.
All of these folks went above and beyond on this hunt. To see fellow hunters doing this for Shannon, well, if you're wondering if there are still good people out there, yes, there is.
All right, got him. All right, Bob, I'm good. Good? You're up against my leg.
Well, I was.
All right, hang on, there we go. We're moving.
I'm sliding down.
After what had to feel like 10 miles, they made it to the bear. Now they needed to get a spot for Shannon to get situated and make a good, clean kill shot.
Here, I got your gun, Shannon. Man, that thing's got some wildness to it.
Yeah, it does.
Nice bear, my friend.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh. Thank you.
Good job.
Wait for a clean headshot. All right. So he gave me a headshot, and then the rest is history. Down he went, and got my hands on my very first bear, and it happened to be the one that I wanted, the one with the white blaze mark on his chest. So I'm excited to say the least. It was something that I'll never forget.
This was quite a hunt, and for Scott and the Farmer family, wow. Can't say enough. This was a hunt to remember for sure.
Looking back, would we do it again? Absolutely. Are we happy we don't have to do it anytime soon? Absolutely. We're a couple weeks after the hunt. I think the muscles are finally done being sore, and give us a hand on the sled and help us get Shannon to and from the bear.
This bear ended up weighing just under 190 pounds. The dogs had run this bear perfectly, and it was time to get some pictures. Of course, Shannon summed it all up perfectly.
And being able to say, hey, just because I'm in a wheelchair or I'm on crutches or I'm an amputee doesn't mean that I can't live a full life. If a guy in a wheelchair can do it, anybody can do it. Like, that's just, if you have a dream, go for it. Follow your dream, contact people, because for me, it's all about people. God put people in your life at certain times for certain reasons. And every person that He put in my life led me to this point. And it's always, for me, been, instead of the wheelchair controlling me, let the Lord use me to control the wheelchair and be an inspiration to other people. And really, like Scott Evans with Hunters for Life, he'll say it too. The only disability is a bad attitude. It's a bad mindset. So it's like, there's roadblocks in the way, but we can overcome those roadblocks.
As you can see, Shannon has a gift for putting things in the proper perspective. Thanks to all the folks involved on this hunt and for sharing the footage with us. In a world full of struggles, it is good to see that there are really good people doing some incredible things right here in Michigan's Out of Doors. Well, again, thank you to everybody that made that hunt possible. I know that meant a ton to Shannon, and to see those guys all kind of chipping in to make that happen, what a cool story. And we're going to kind of stay with that theme of sportsmen giving back, and we're going to tag along with a veteran who was out on the Independence Hunt just a couple of weeks back.
Hi, I'm Alan Watts. I live in Grayling, Michigan. I'm a veteran. Did 6 years in the Army. a year in Vietnam, and I served with 3 different divisions. Yeah, I get around in my check chair pretty good, but it was always hard to hunt because I was so exposed because it's, you know, no camouflage or nothing. And this was a great opportunity. I really enjoyed the people that put it together.
This was quite a team effort to put this hunt together. Doug Orcutt, the landowner, wanted to let a veteran come hunt his property. So the West Michigan Veterans Ranch, along with the Ravenna Conservation Club, put all the folks together, and it looked like this hunt was going to be pretty short. Well, as luck would have it, the shot was a bit high, and the guys weren't able to reload the gun in time for a follow-up. Now, Brandon Nutt was nice enough to guide and run the camera on this hunt, and day 2, the guys had high hopes as this piece of property is not hunted very much and holds a lot of deer.
Well, it is the second morning of the Independence hunt. I'm out here with Al again, and the fog is setting in. We've seen a couple deer far. They were too far to shoot, but we're hoping something comes in just a little bit closer.
A lot of deer. There was a lot of deer on the property here. It's just great.
The fog had lifted just enough now, and the guys had a nice mature doe just over 100 yards away. So Alan steadied himself and settled in to make the shot.
Nice shot, sir. Yeah. Happened pretty fast. We didn't have much time to react, but...
Yeah, well, that's good, because when I relax, I start shaking.
Yeah.
You know, but when, you know, I hold the gun tight and that, I can stop the shaking, but if I was shaking from Parkinson's disease, that this is, well, it is my last hunt. It's too bad, but, you know, what you said about missing a doe or any deer is better than wounding one, and that I would have took that way. I would have won the shot if I couldn't get control of the shaking, but I did.
Yes, indeed, Alan did it. We often highlight someone's first deer or first buck, and rightfully so. But we will all have a last hunt as well. And to hear Alan say that this would be his last hunt, well, it put things into perspective. This Independence Hunt is a special 4-day season for folks with physical challenges. Special thanks to the West Michigan Veterans Ranch, Doug Orcutt, the Ravenna Conservation Club, and to Brandon Nutt. And a big thanks to Alan, who served our country for many years. Glad we, in some small way, got to be a part of this memorable hunt here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Thanks so much for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure you stay tuned. In upcoming weeks, we will be sharing some more outdoor adventures with you. And of course, we will all be out in the woods on November 15th with cameras rolling to bring you some exciting opening day firearm deer season action. If you'd like to see where we are and kind of keep track of what we're up to, you can always check us out online.
Well, that's right, Jenny. Online, good way to kind of keep tabs on us. You can do that through our website, our different social media platforms, as well as YouTube. So lots of places you can be checking us out. And make sure that you are joining us as we're going to have cameras rolling in different parts of the state for the firearm opener next week and see how we did and where we were at. And something that we do every year before the firearm opener is show you the Palace in the Popple poem to get you excited for the upcoming firearm deer season. Good luck to everybody hitting the woods next week.
It's a smoky, raunchy boar's nest with an unswept, drafty floor, with pillow-ticking curtains and knife scars in the door. The smell of a pine knot fire from a stovepipe that's come loose mingles sweetly with the boot grease and the Copenhagen snooze. There are work-worn 30-30s with scratched and battered stocks and drying lines of long johns and steaming, pungent socks. There's a table for the bloody four and their game of two-card draw. There's deep and dreamless sleeping on bunk ticks stuffed with straw. Frank's been drafted for cook again and is peeling some spuds for stew, while Bruce wanders by in baggy drawers reciting dangerous Dan McGrew. Nowhere on earth is fire so warm or coffee so infernal, nor whiskers so stiff, jokes so rich, or where hope blooms so eternal. A guy could live for a solid week in the same old underbritches and walk like a man and spit where he wants and scratch himself where it itches. I tell you boys, there is no place else I'd rather be come fall, where I eat like a bear and sing like a wolf and feel like I'm bull pine tall. In that raunchy cabin up in the north, in the land of the deer and the loon, with the tracking snow lying new to the ground at the end of the rutting moon.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by.
Do you dream of somewhere bigger than your backyard? You can get there with Greenstone. Whether you want to hunt, fish, hike, or just watch the sunset, we're ready to help you own your place in the great outdoors. To learn more, visit greenstonefcs.com.
By Green Mark Equipment. Green Mark Equipment is a John Deere dealership network in southwest Michigan and northern Indiana. Green Mark provides sales and services to farmers, commercial businesses, large property owners, and homeowners. Information about pricing and products available can be found online at greenmarkequipment.com. By Showspan, producing consumer shows including the Ultimate Fishing Show Detroit, January 6th through 9th at Novi Suburban Collection Showplace. The show features fishing tackle, trips, boats, and seminars from top pros. The Ultimate Fishing Show, Novi, January 6th through 9th.
By Jay's Sporting Goods, with locations in Clare and Gaylord. Jay's has been serving the Michigan outdoor enthusiast since 1971, with a wide variety of outdoor products. The gear, the knowledge, the tradition of Jay's. On the web at jaysportinggoods.com. Closed captioning provided by Marvo Mineral, makers of Lucky Buck, deer management products including minerals to supplement deer diets year-round to improve health and antler growth.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine